Alright, so now we want to do results import for a junior section class. So we did one senior section, which was 12C, but let's do for a junior section class, and here we can pick 8A as an example. Okay, and the reason for this is because a junior section will have its own different subjects, so I want to show you how you can add that. So remember, the first step is to add the subjects. Okay, so if you check in your system and then go to administration, subjects, if you now filter and only look at junior subjects, you only see that there are only two there, English and mathematics. And this 8A that we're trying to add results for has maths and English, but the rest are not there. So we have this integrated science, we need to add it. So remember, we have to go to our GTS online system, look for integrated science, which is right here. Okay, so we copy that subject name, and come over here and click the plus sign, then we put integrated science. Then we need to check what is the code that is being used. Integrated science is here, the code is ITSC, and we paste that, and then on the section we say this is junior. Okay, the next subject we want is Zambian language. Alright, so we go to Zambian language, it's at the very bottom, pick it, go to the system, add it, this is ZL, and you're saying junior. And the next subject is social studies. Okay, social studies, which is SS, so we search for SS here. There it is, social studies, and we click plus SS junior, and the next one is CS. This could be computer studies or computer science, whichever. So let's say we pick computer studies. Where's computer studies? This one. Even though this code that it was given doesn't make sense. SC, it's supposed to be CS, not SC. Yeah, we're going to change this code. It should be CS, not SC. Yes, so computer studies, and we come to the system, we click the plus sign, and then here we say CS and junior. Always remember to specify the section. And then of course later, if you want to have this thing of subject and sub-subjects and parent subjects, you can actually specify that this is a parent subject. It has children, you can say has sub, but for now we don't want to do that because they already entered scores for this one directly, and they didn't enter for things like civics and history and geography. So we want them, because if you say it has subs, when building results, the system will try to look for the children to this subject, so that it collects their scores and then aggregates them into this one, and it will not find those children, so it will leave a blank for this one, and that's why for now we are leaving it as it is. So computer studies, and then what next? Business studies. So business studies and RE. We have business studies there, which is BS. BS has got other meanings, vulgar meanings, but yeah, for now we take the business studies one. So business studies, and then next is RE. Yes, so we add RE like that, and we again say junior, and we are done. So once you're done, there's a save button at the bottom. Don't forget to save. It doesn't save automatically. Okay, so you must click save, and your subjects are done. So now you have, and you can see that each of them now has an ID there. That's the first step. Remember, add the subjects, and then we need to map them. The next step to this is to map them to the class. So the class we're trying to add this is 8A. So we go to classes and we select our 8A, which is this one here. Notice that on the right it shows us all the subjects in junior section currently. There could be more, but these are the ones we added so far, and none of them is assigned to 8A, but we know that all these belong to 8A because we just added them. So what you can do is to use this one that says select all. So it selects all, but doesn't mean it has saved. You now have to use this button that says update class subjects. So I'll click update class subjects, and there it's done. So it even shows you that it has assigned 8 subjects to 8A. After we assign, the next thing that we want to do again is to fill in a template. So what we're going to do is we need to export the list of pupils for 8A. So we go to gradebook, and then we go to submit subject results. We select 8, so you can type in 8A like that, and there it shows us all the pupils in 8A. These are the ones here. Okay, so these are the pupils in 8A, and since we've already brought in this pupil ID, it already shows us, and these are already sorted by last name and then by first name. Okay, and all we need to do now is to export this. So you click on print. So there's a button at the bottom there that says print. So we click print, and we export this to Excel, and we say this, and then we want to save it as results 8A. And just as we want to open, yes, we open it. It's opened. Now once it opens, remember we need to add those extra columns. Here we need to have subject ID before the score. We need to have the subject ID, and after the score we need the year, the term, the class, and the school ID. So we simply copy those extra columns and paste them here, and we already know the year, the term, the class ID, and the school ID. So let's put in this. We do this, but we know that the class is 8A, so we have to go to where class is and pick 8A, and we put it there. Alright, then we can drag this for this list of pupils like this. There. Okay, and remember here you must say copy cells, not fill cells. Alright, so once we have this, remember what I said was the next thing we need to do is to check how many subjects do we have. There are 8 of them, so that means we need to create 8 sets of this list of pupils. So we need 8 sets. We already have one set, so leave a blank line, paste, that is 2, leave a blank line, paste, that is 3, leave a blank line, 4, blank line, 5, blank line, 6, blank line, 7, blank line, 8. So we now have what we want. Let's go back to the beginning, save this. The next thing you need to do is to start adding these subject IDs and the scores. So we know that the first subject is mathematics, right? If you come over here, this is 8A we're looking at. First subject is math. We need to get his ID from the system. So you go back to you can close this, you don't need it now. Go back to your administration and then subjects. And remember, you must filter here by junior so that you only see the junior ones, so that the IDs you pick are correct. Because if you're saying both junior and senior, you end up picking an ID. Because you say, oh yeah, it's maths, but you actually pick an ID for a senior subject. So filter by junior, and then you see that the maths for junior is 2. The maths for senior is 1. So we are using the one for junior, which is a 2. And that's what we're going to put here. So we put subject ID 2. In fact, what you could even do is, you could just work with this first. So put subject ID 2 there, that's maths, and then the next one is English, right? Let's check the ID for English. English is 4. So English is 4, you put 4 there. Up to the end before the blank line. Then the next one is integrated science. Integrated science is 14, so that's what we're going to put here. Drag it all the way down. Then the next one is Zambian language. Zambian language is 15, so we put 15 here. And then after Zambian language, the next one is social studies. Social studies is 16. Social studies is 16 there. After social studies we have computer studies. Computer studies for junior is 17. So you just go there and drag 17. After computer studies we have BS. BS is 18. BS is 18. And then after BS we have RE. RE for junior is 19. So we put 19. And yeah, having put these IDs, now we can actually start copying the scores. So we go back to the first one. Remember that this one is, so of course now we'll simply be going with this. We don't need to start checking IDs. We know that the first one is math. We simply start copying all the results now. Okay, there, and paste. After maths we know it's English. Home, English all the way down, paste there, and home, integrated science, paste there, and then next one, Zambian language, and then after Zambian language, next is social studies. And then after social studies we have computer studies. After computer studies we have BS. After BS we have RE. And there we're going to have RE, and that's it. And we are done. So we save. We made the same mistake again. And this is why this is a tricky thing. So let's go back to these results. Same mistake again, keep making it. So this is why I would advise that you actually maybe start with this next time. So before you start copying these things, please ensure. So remember, the results that we have here are sorted. Okay, these PP names are sorted, last name, first name. And so these IDs that you're seeing here, we want to map them to our PPs. But in order to do that, make sure that even the list that you have here is already sorted accordingly, with the names like that. But what I see here is that these were not really sorted properly, because you can see that you have some N's after Z and some M after Z. So again, because of this mismatch in the names, that's why we're being forced to have to sort this again. So you have to change this into a table. Alright, say that my table has column as headers, and then go to data and sort first level by last name, add another level, sort by first name, then say OK. So now it has put everything together, and that means we have to recopy this data. If you really want to have correct results, you must recopy. You must actually, you cannot just brush this off. So again, we have to go back to the very first thing and start repasting format. So we paste format, you see that the numbers have changed there because they're not properly sorted initially. Okay, so we paste format, yes. Hope this is the correct thing, yeah. And then we have to redo it for English as well. English there up to the end, like that. And then for the next subject, which is integrated science. So please make sure that these names are sorted. If you want this convenience of importing from Excel, you have to follow this. Otherwise, just enter the results manually if you fear that you'll make these mistakes. Yeah, but I can assure you that it's much faster doing this than entering this course one by one. It's quite a lot of work, but if you have different teachers entering, then it's much faster actually. It's very, very fast in fact than doing all this work. It's a lot of work. Then we move on to CS there, and then BS, finally RE. You can see that it's very easy to copy once you have everything you need, like that. Yeah, so now we have a correct set of results. We save this. Now after saving, and thank God, we praise God that he was able to remind me some of these things, that I've ended up importing wrong things. So now we need to remove these blank lines. Okay, so after each subject, remove the blank lines, because you end up getting errors when you try to import. So just in case you run into errors, you're trying to do this, and remember, remove the blank lines. With results, we don't expect many errors. Maybe with the PPUs you might get issues of dates, but with the results, if you've done everything correctly, then there shouldn't be issues really. It should be smooth, but not like smooth dog. Alright, so there we are. We save, and then after removing those blank lines, we can save this as CSV. Just save it as results CSV. Okay, CSV, overwrite whatever is there, remove these two columns, last name and first name, you don't need them, and then remove the top row, and then save your CSV again, close it, go to the system, go to external data, import PPU CSV, and yes, you're getting the same, and import, and it tells us it's done. So if you go to your gradebook again, and remember what I said, you should have an assessment called NTEM already, okay, so that when you go to view subject results, just tell it to move the old, because when you are doing the import, it saves them in the old way, you know, where we had these separate NTEM results. So you have to say move the old NTEM results to this assessment, and then say move, and it will tell you it has moved 1056. So now if you select 8A, if you type 8A there, you should be able to see the results there. So you can see the business studies, computer studies, English, integrated science. You can group by subject to see this. Of course, later, once this is all done, what we'd like to see is you do the contributions for each subject. Okay, so if you go to assessment contributions, you say and for now this is contributing 100%. Let's say junior section, all classes, end term is contributing 100% for all subjects. You do something like this, and then you say for senior also, all classes, all subjects, end term is contributing 100%. You save that, then you can even go ahead and build your results if you want. So you go to report cards, then say 2019 term 1 build result. Okay, I can check this later, but we can do the build later. But that's that. So at least here you can see that we do have the results, right? We do have the results for these guys. Great.